750,000 Americans are hospitalized every year because of a heart condition most of them didn't know they had. It's called atrial fibrillation, AFib. And for decades, the only way to catch it was to be hooked up to a machine in a hospital at exactly the right moment. Then Apple put a medical grade detector on your wrist. But how does a consumer smartwatch actually detect an irregular heartbeat accurately enough to matter clinically? That's what we will deep dive today. Hi, I'm Kaveri. I'm a hardware PM in the semiconductor industry and a former dentist. Every Saturday, I break down the systems behind digital health technology. Let's get into it. First, let's understand what AFib actually is, because the detection method only makes sense once you understand what it's actually looking for. Your heart has four chambers. In a healthy heart, the electrical signal that triggers a heartbeat starts in the sinoatrial node, the SA node, fires in a coordinated sequence and produces a regular rhythm. In AFib, the upper chambers, the atria, fire chaotically. Instead of one clean signal, you get hundreds of disorganized electrical impulses per minute. The result is an irregular, often rapid heartbeat. The clinical gold standard for detecting this is an ECG, an electrocardiogram, which measures the electrical activity of your heart through electrodes placed on your skin. Apple Watch does two things that are relevant here. It has an optical heart rate sensor, the PPG, which is always running in the background, and it has a single lead ECG, which you can take on demand. These are two completely different detection mechanisms, and understanding both is key to understanding the system. Let's start with PPG, the photoplethysmography. This is the sensor that's always on. On the underside of your Apple Watch, there are green LED lights and photodiodes. The LEDs shine light into your skin. Blood absorbs the green light. So when your heart beats and blood flow increases, more light is absorbed and photodiode detects less reflected light. I also explain how Apple Watch detects your heart rate in my video about sleep score. This gives you a continuous waveform of your pulse, not your heart's electrical signal, your blood volume pulse. Now here's where it gets interesting. AFib produces an irregularly irregular pulse. The intervals between beats, called RR intervals, vary in a specific detectable pattern. Apple's AFib detection algorithm runs continuously in the background, analyzing those RR intervals using the PPG sensor. It's looking for irregularity that matches the signature pattern of AFib, not just the fast heart rate, not just occasional variation, but the specific chaotic pattern that indicates the atria are firing out of sync. This is passive detection. You don't do anything. The watch is quietly running this analysis in the background, and if it detects a pattern consistent with AFib over a significant observation window, it notifies you. The second mechanism is the on-demand ECG. This is a single lead ECG, which means it measures electrical signal between 2 points. You place your finger on the digital crown, completing a circuit between the crown and the electrodes on the back of the watch. One lead across the body. A clinical 12 lead ECG gives your cardiologist a full three-dimensional picture of your heart's electrical activity. Apple's single lead ECG gives you one slice of that picture, but that slice is enough to detect the hallmark of AFib, the absence of P wave, and the irregularly irregular RR intervals. The raw signal is processed on board the watch, run through a classification algorithm, and within 30 seconds it tells you sinus rhythm, AFib, inconclusive or low or high heart rate. Apple got this cleared by the FDA as a class 2 medical device, de novo clearance in 2018. This means Apple had to run clinical studies, prove accuracy, and demonstrate that the benefit outweighed the risk. Now let's talk about where the system breaks down, because no system is perfect and this one has real clinical limitations you should know. The false negatives. AFib is episodic. The watch only catches it if you are in AFib when it's looking. Paroxysmal AFib, the kind that comes and goes, can be completely missed if the episode happens when you're not wearing the watch or between algorithm checks. False positives. The PPG sensor is sensitive to motion artifact. Exercise, a loose fit, even certain tattoos can corrupt the signal that trigger incorrect readings. The ECG is more reliable but requires you to sit still for 30 seconds. Single lead limitation. A cardiologist cannot make a definitive AFib diagnosis from a single lead ECG alone. Apple's own documentation says the ECG is not intended to replace traditional diagnosis. It's a screening tool, a reason to go to see your doctor, not a replacement for clinical evaluation. Population gaps. The algorithm was trained on specific populations. Its performance on people under 22, people with other arrhythmias, or people with pacemakers is not well established. FDA clearance doesn't mean it works equally well for everyone. How does Apple Watch compare to the other players in the space? This Cardia Mobile by AliveCore. This was actually first to FDA clearance for a consumer AFib detector. It's a small pad you hold with two fingers, produces a single LED ECG and pairs with your phone. More clinically focused, less integrated into daily life though. Samsung Galaxy Watch, similar to PPG based passive detection, FDA cleared, competitive with Apple, but with a smaller clinical validation dataset publicly available. Whiting Scan Watch, hybrid smartwatch with ECG and PPG detection. CE marked in Europe, FDA cleared in the US, strong clinical partnership, slightly more medical positioning than Apple. The key differentiator for Apple is scale. Millions of people wear Apple Watch daily. The Apple Heart study enrolled over 400,000 participants, the largest study of its kind. That scale is clinical asset. Here's what I want you to take away from this. AFib detection on a consumer wearable is not a gimmick. It's a genuinely sophisticated system. PPG algorithms running continuously, a single LED ECG cleared by the FDA, clinical validation at unprecedented scale. It's also a screening tool, not a replacement for your cardiologist. The value is in catching something you didn't know to look for and then getting it properly evaluated. If you found this useful, the full diagram breakdown is linked below. And if you want to go deeper on how FDA clearance actually works for wearables, that's next week. See you next Saturday. Bye.